For every iconic WWE theme song that fans love to sing, there's one stinker that ruins the whole vibe, kicking things off with one of the most popular entrance themes of all time. When CM Punk brought Cult of Personality to the WWE in 2011, the theme immediately fit him like a glove. Before this, Punk already had a banger theme song as the leader of the Straight Edge Society. But after dropping the pipe bomb and ushering in the Summer of Punk, the Second City Saint needed a new theme song to define his new character, and Cult of Personality did exactly that. The lyrics, the energy, the swagger, it perfectly captures his rebellious personality, his confidence, and the aura he carried during his prime pipe bomb era. But from one iconic track to another, let's talk about a theme song that turned a generic rookie into a megastar. Before John Cena was preaching hustle, loyalty, and respect. Before he came out wearing bright t-shirts. Before My Time Is Now. John Cena walked to the ring like the world's most confident rapper.
Word life. This is Basic Thugonomics.
Basic Thugonomics was the perfect soundtrack for Cena's rapper persona. It was cocky, funny, sharp, and full of attitude. The beat is simple but catchy, the lyrics hit hard, and the entire vibe matched Cena's trash-talking energy. Most fans would think it'd be career suicide for a wrestler to replace a banger theme song like this one. But Cena's next theme became even more legendary. However, not every theme song change landed well. The former leader of the club once had one of the coolest entrances in wrestling. The heartbeat, the aura, the presentation. Everything worked perfectly. But then WWE decided to replace it with a theme that feels more like background music for a loading screen. His new entrance lacks identity. It doesn't have the energy of his old theme, it doesn't get the crowd involved, and it doesn't do anything to help Finn stand out from other names on the roster. The music isn't bad on its own. It just feels painfully generic for someone with Finn's presence. Luckily, the next theme on this list is the complete opposite of generic. In fact, it's one of the most instantly recognizable tracks ever created. Very few songs in wrestling history have the power to make an entire arena start singing along. Shawn Michaels' Sexy Boy is one of them. Everything about the track fits Shawn's persona during his peak in the 90s.
Just a sexy boy.
It's confident, flamboyant, narcissistic, and stylish, just like HBK himself. The 80s rock vibe gives the theme its charm, and even decades later, it still hits with the same energy. The moment that music plays, you know exactly who's coming out, and the crowd reacts instantly, even today, when Shawn comes out on NXT. Speaking of NXT, let's talk about a banger that defined one of the most dominant factions in NXT history. When you heard this in NXT, you knew business was about to pick up. The Undisputed Era theme captured everything fans loved about the group, from the confidence and swagger to Kyle O'Reilly's air guitar. The iconic became one of the loudest crowd cues in NXT history, and it became one of the rare themes that sounded modern without losing personality. But speaking of factions with iconic theme songs, let's go back to the OGs. Line in the Sand by Motorhead was the anthem of Evolution, and it made every entrance feel royal. The slow, heavy guitar riff carried this aura of dominance, and Lemmy's voice gave the song that gritty authority the group was built on. It perfectly represented the past, present, and future of WWE, walking down the ramp like they owned the place. And even when Evolution reunited in 2014, fans made it clear that they hadn't forgotten this masterpiece. But switching gears from Evolution's dominance, let's talk about a controversial star from the Ruthless Aggression era, whose career ended in tragedy, but whose music still stands as one of the most intense tracks in WWE history. Say what you will about the man, but Whatever by Our Lady Peace fit Chris Benoit better than almost any theme has ever fit any wrestler. The aggressive music, the chaotic energy, and the tone of the song matched Benoit's no-nonsense, intense, technical style perfectly. It didn't try to be flashy. It didn't try to be catchy. It just hit hard, like Benoit himself. The moment it played, you knew he wasn't coming out to talk or pose for the crowd. He was coming out to fight. It's a shame that Benoit's career ended the way it did, and we'll most likely never get to hear this banger on a WWE show ever again. But moving on from Benoit's intensity, let's talk about an underrated gem from the Ruthless Aggression era. Very few themes capture a wrestler's personality as perfectly as One of a Kind captured RVD. The theme feels energetic, explosive, and unpredictable, just like Van Damme himself. Its blend of rock and attitude gave his entrances a signature vibe that no one else could replicate. It's the kind of theme that instantly tells you, yeah, this guy's different. But speaking of different, the next theme became memorable for all the wrong reasons. Chavo Guerrero's theme song, with that intro,
Ooh, Chavo!
the goofy tone and the overall presentation made the song feel like a parody of itself. Instead of making Chavo look dangerous or cool, the theme turned him into a walking cartoon character. However, over the years, the song grew on the fans, and many fans who watched WWE during that era still remember this song just because of that intro. But moving on from wrestler theme songs, let's talk about one of the most iconic opening themes in Raw history. As soon as Across the Nation kicks in, you're instantly transported to the chaos and energy of mid-2000s WWE. This theme became the heartbeat of Monday Night Raw. With its gritty vocals, fast-paced guitars, and a rebellious energy that made the show feel bigger, louder, and edgier every single week. It's one of the most iconic brand themes WWE ever used, and fans still revisit it because it defined that entire era. The music alone could get you hyped before the show even started, but if Raw had a banger, SmackDown wasn't too far behind. If Across the Nation represented Raw's chaotic energy, Rise Up by Drowning Pool was SmackDown's own anthem. It had attitude, rhythm, and this gritty vibe that matched SmackDown's mix of technical wrestlers, high flyers, and rising stars. Didn't try to mimic Raw's rough style. It gave SmackDown its own voice that made Thursday and Friday nights feel special. It truly was an unforgettable time in history with names like Taker, Batista, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and other big names showing up on the blue brand every single week. Moving on from these banger intros, let's talk about the time Def Rebel sucked the soul out of Raw. While some intros get you hyped for the show, this one made you want to switch the channel. Born to be the greatest of all time felt like WWE wanted to sound modern and cool, but ended up with a track that felt generic, uninspired, and totally forgettable. It didn't match Raw's identity, didn't get fans excited, and honestly felt more like a commercial jingle than the opening to WWE's flagship show. Thankfully, we're going from forgettable to phenomenal with our next theme. Before AJ Styles entered WWE with Phenomenal, fans knew him as the face of TNA, where he entered to this legendary track. Get Ready to Fly is pure adrenaline. It's fast-paced, it's high energy, and it matches AJ's athletic, high-flying style perfectly. The song was AJ's anthem during his rise to the top in TNA, and it introduced him as the guy you simply couldn't take your eyes off. But while Styles has had iconic theme songs throughout his career that made him stand out, today's Def Rebel stinkers tank the wrestler's aura before they even enter the ring. Austin Theory is talented, but his theme feels like it was created from a